It's not a milk ultra, it's a Bud Light Orange.
Oh.
Moving on, Tom Brady's new contract extension may indirectly help the Cowboys. Dallas trying to get a deal done with Dak Prescott. And with Brady taking less money than he could have, the Cowboys have an example of great quarterback sacrificing to win Super Bowls. Important to note, Dak Prescott is not, I repeat, not married to a supermodel who makes $20+ million per year. Jerry Jones thinks that Dak and Brady got a lot in common. Take a listen to this.
It is the best example of what you can do with a quarterback that has leadership and skills and work ethic. And Brady is all of that. And without saying something Dak doesn't want me to say, Dak enjoys many of those same kinds of skills. And they came from about the same place in the race, from the back of the pack. And so that's what interests me about here he is 2 years later. If only that could happen.
You don't think about that Brady team-friendly deal, too?
Huh?
About Brady's team-friendly deal, too?
Well, we won't get into that.
Listen, on the sliding scale of eye rolls, I think Bart Scott has him 1 coming in at an 11. Bart?
I'm just saying, listen, I understand who Jerry is, and, you know, he's trying to lift his quarterback up. And listen, I'm not here to talk about Dak Prescott because after my comments last week, I'm not a Dak Prescott hater.
Yes,
I just know what I'm looking at because I've been around great quarterbacks, and intangibles are fine. But he lacks the elite arm strength, and he lacks, to me, I feel like the accuracy that he needs to be a tremendous quarterback. Now, can he grow into a better quarterback? Yes. But come on, Tom Brady, you're going to compare him to the best quarterback in the game? I mean, he hasn't even got to Russell Wilson level. He hasn't even got to Alex Smith level yet. Now, will he get there? Maybe. But Jerry's trying to give him all his flowers so he can say, hey, man, listen, you live here in Dallas. There's no state taxes. You know, give us a little, you know, take a little cheese off the taco so we can go out and pay everybody else. If Dak's going to fall for it, maybe. This is Dak's best opportunity to get longevity. And it is something to be said if he takes less money, if he plans on being there for the next 13 years. But if he decides to take $30 million, I don't know if he can live up to that contract.
Let's talk about a quarterback I think that his skill set might be comparable to. What about Mark Sanchez?
Wait.
Damn. You know about Mark Sanchez.
Wait.
Right. Won some games with a
it's
great
all good
defense.
What he said. When I said, I'm crazy. I'm crazy when I said, man, oh, man. This your show, though, bro.
I mean, but if he had said that, and there's a chance he could be Tom Brady-ish, where he can win with the team around him. Or he could have the career of Mark Sanchez if he's not careful.
Yeah.
So Jerry is one of the best salesmen that there ever is. And Dak should realize that this guy, as long as he's alive, if I sign this contract extension, he's going to be out there saying things like that throughout my career. But to me, he reminds me of what Sanchez did. Sanchez was a good athlete, even though being a first-round pick, you could win games. He could throw the ball well enough. And then after about 3 or 4 years, people understood he wasn't going to run with the football. Yep. They started getting a book on him. They started playing left.
Couldn't throw left.
Yep. They started playing cover 2, forced him to his weakness.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Looks like the football gods are already awake. Let's go ahead and get open for business. Before we go anywhere, I want to do 2 things. I want to burn a candle for all the people in El Paso, as well as in Ohio. Man, this stuff's got to stop. It's just got to stop, man. We are all people. We are all Americans. And understand, we are what was known as the great melting pot, where we took the best of everything, put it together, and became America, the greatest country in this world. I am not going to give up on this country. I'm not going to give up on the people. I love America, and I believe in her. And that's why we're going to burn that candle tonight for all those that are lost. And understand that every single day is a blessing, friends. Okay? Make the most of it. Do everything that you can. And make sure, by all means, make sure that everybody that you care about knows exactly how you feel. Because you might not get another opportunity. And one other thing we're going to do. We're going to pour one out. We'll go ahead and get some Bacardi Black. Pour one for Rico Gathers. I know my son, Michael Anthony Fitness, is probably going off right about now. He's got his Rico Gathers jersey. He was definitely a favorite of Michael Anthony Fitness's. But unfortunately, here's the reality, man. Too many great players on the team, and you have to make decisions, and we'll get on to that in a minute. But before I go on to all that other stuff, we sit 30 days, 23 hours, 12 minutes, and 18 seconds away from kickoff of the 2019 season. Mark, if you were Dak on the phone with Zeke, what would I say to him? Hey, man, I don't want to mess with your money, but listen, before it gets to be too long, bring your ass up in here because we need you, dog. I get it, man. You trying to get paid. I'm trying to get paid. You see they ain't paid me yet. You know, you did have that, that first round draft pick money. I get it. I get it. They'll run you to the ground and let you go. But understand, man, dog, you do realize even though you're working on a reduced rate this year, you have made more money than I have my whole career. Dude, I ain't even made $2 million yet, and they ain't paid me, but I'm here. That's what I'd probably say if I were Dak Prescott to Zeke. But anyway, like you said, man, Dak is saying all the right things. He is not going to put him on blast. He's not going to. That's one thing you can say about Dak Prescott. It's great that he has that degree in psychology because Lord knows, dealing with Dallas Cowboy fans and things, you need to have a degree in psychology. Listening to these idiots out here, because, I mean, what? Bart Scott, here's the thing about these idiots out here. Bart Scott, I'm not trying to, be a hater. Yes, you are. Because you know what you realize? Nobody gave a rat's ass about anything you had to say until you started talking about the Dallas Cowboys. So what'd you do? You doubled down. You pulled out Alex Smith and Mark Sanchez, the Sanchez. I just want to just take a look at this. I'm just humor me here for a second because, I try to at least put facts out there as opposed to grabbing things out my rear end like these idiots do. I'm just going through. I just want us to look at what Mark Sanchez did. His best season was 2010, where he had 3,291 yards, 17 TDs, and 13 interceptions. He did one time have over 20 TDs, 26 TDs with 18 interceptions. His completion percentage, only twice was he over 60 at 64. Yeah. His yards per completion, only once over 7. He had 1 year, 7.8. And his winning versus losses, 37 and 36. How the hell are you going to compare that? And I'm going to tell you, here's what's even funnier, because now we're start talking about Alex Smith, and I didn't actually pull up Alex Smith, but I just want to bring up some of the great things that Mark Sanchez did.
To Tom Moore, then at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator. You got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose, and it's alive.
I have never seen this before in my life. Watch this. Vince Wilfork is going to throw Brandon Moore back into his quarterback. He's going to fumble the football. This is what Reggie White used to do to people, forklift them and just lift them off the ground. Mark Sanchez not expect.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on. I mean, okay, I get it. I get it. He's not Aaron Rodgers right now. He's not Russell Wilson just yet. But come on, man. Butt fumble. You're going to go that low? We had butt fumble here. And if butt fumble was so great, how come he couldn't get off the bench and take Dak's place? You know what I'm saying? We had him here. We had him here. He played a game, the last one of the season against the Eagles. I think he had 3 turnovers. So come on, man. Come on. Bart Scott. Come on. Come on, dog. Come on, man. This is crazy. So let me shout out. We are simulcasting again. We're on Vimeo as well as on several Facebook pages. I believe we're still on all my Facebook pages, okay? So we're spreading the mojo and stuff because here it is. We are spreading it. It is football season, and you got to be happy. You got to be happy. So Rico Gathers. Rico Gathers is a guy that I think the Cowboys messed up with. The Cowboys end up being this mad scientist of trying to take a player that could do one thing and say, sorry, we don't need that. We want you to do this. We did that with Byron Jones. We kept trying to make him a safety. But see, safety, and a lot of people, if you don't really know the difference between a cornerback and a safety is more like a linebacker, cornerback hybrid. But he is the last line of defense, hence the name safety. He is the guy that is reading the quarterback and going with flow. He is the guy who's in run support, okay? If you're going against a team that is run heavy, he is in the box. He's the 8th man. He's like the 4th linebacker, okay? He's a thug. He's a guy that will run you over. He is a guy that says, this is my backyard, and I'm going to knock you the F out if you step in it. Cornerbacks, on the other hand, think about prime time. Think about prime time tackling. That's an oxymoron. You know what I'm saying? Think about prime time tackling. Prime time was a cover guy. He basically on an island, one-on-one. It's you and me.
L4G Custom Fabrication. Thank you very much for that super chat. And we're going to do another drawing tonight. I've actually got all these names right here. That we'll go ahead and put into the bin. And what we're going to do tonight is Leon Lett. Over here, I actually have a Leon Lett autographed shirt. Let me go ahead and show you guys. It's Leon Lett autographed Joe Boo t-shirt over here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and give that away. I got a lot of memorabilia that I need to go ahead and get rid of and stuff because I don't have enough space for it. So this is where we're clearing things out a little bit, okay? So we're going to add, I need a pen. Everybody who did a super chat on Monday as well as during my live streams while I'm working, L4G Custom. We're going to add you, and we'll do a drawing on that tonight. So we're going to start doing drawings on a regular because, well, it's a thank you for all you guys help support the channel because there's a lot of stuff that we want to do, some more equipment that I want to get, and I want to be ready for the tailgate against the Washington Stinking Redskins. So shout out to all you guys. Oh.
Sorry. I left the voice on. Forgive me. Okay. So, Rico, they wanted to make him a blocking tight end. And you know, that's where you've got Scott Linehan, who was literally the guy that is like the square peg. You got to fit in there exactly, or you're just not going to be part of it. That and Rico liked to do rap music, so of course Rico was, you know, on the outs as far as, you know, being the doghouse. So instead,
Randy Siddles, thank you very much for that super chat.
So Rico, they told him to gain weight. So he gained about 30 pounds. And the problem with that was he just looked like, he used to look like a gazelle running down the field. Nice and fluid, nice and smooth. But then after blocking, he didn't block bad. he couldn't run downfield, and they didn't throw him enough that he could ever get into a rhythm. And here is the reality of everything is the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, yeah, the TV is ready to go outside. Here's the problem. This is where did it go? Where'd it go? I got too much stuff here. Boom. Boom. Here's the unofficial from John Macha. Unofficial depth chart for right now. Okay, we got some guys that, like DeMarcus Lawrence is not practicing and things, so he's not on there. Tyrone Crawford is on the PUP list, so he's not on here. So, but this just kind of gives you an idea of where the guys have been playing and starting and so forth thus far. Okay, so of course we got Amari Cooper, Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, La'el Collins, and Jason Witten. That's your starting offense right there. Of course, Randall Cobb and Michael Gallup. No big surprises there. Dak Prescott. And at running back, we got Devarius Jackson.
Chris Sports Corner, thank you very much for that super chat.
So there's no surprises really there so far. When you start looking, of course, at like Connor McGovern down at third string, you thought that maybe he might be, because he's a higher draft pick and his size, maybe a little bit higher. But what you're seeing in here is you're seeing like Cam Fleming, of course, backing up Tyron Smith, which is the reason why we got him last year, because he blocked for Tom Brady. Xavier Salafala for Connor Williams, okay? And that's where he played last year. And this is where with Zach Martin, who has a little bit of a back issue, you start to look at this and say, you know what, maybe we do want to keep Xavier Salafalo because we're not sure about Zach Martin all the way around. And Xavier Salafalo enables you to take Connor Williams to sit for Zach Martin. So,
Randy Nooks, thank you very much for the super chat.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
James Nooks.
So you're starting to look at this and say, okay, we may want to keep an extra offensive lineman because we had some injury history. The good news, of course, is Travis Frederick seems to be like he is great, is fine. So we're good there. But here's the thing. Do you really want to keep 4 tight ends where Rico has 3 catches? Did a lot of blocking last year, but had 3 catches. So when you start thinking, do I want to keep Rico Gathers or do I want to keep an extra offensive lineman who's a guy who might end up playing a lot? Because as you look at this, you know you want to keep Connor McGovern. You definitely are going to keep these guys. You know, Joe Looney, you got to keep him because of the way he played for Travis Frederick if something happens with that. Xavier Salafalo, maybe. Connor McGovern isn't ready yet, but you wasted draft capital. Yes, I know I can't pronounce his damn name, okay? JX Fit, Salafilo. Oh, listen, I'm a name butcher. It's what I do, man, okay? Just understand. I'm dyslexic. I can't read. I do the best I can, okay? If it bothers you that much, just don't watch because I'll probably butcher your name up when I say it.
Big Texas, thank you very much for that super chat.
It's swallow follow, guys. Okay. Y'all got jokes tonight. Okay. I do the best I can, man. I do the best I can. I knows I butcher up the King's English. Just understand. Salafalo. Okay. You know, here's the thing. I may even get it right now, but I guarantee you half an hour later I'll mess it up. Okay. All right. So no major surprises on there. But here's the thing again. Are you keeping 4 tight ends where you look at it and saying, you know what? Jason Witten in practice so far doesn't look like he's in bad shape. In fact, Jason Witten looks like he's the starter without a doubt. So that's where you say, I'm going to let that guy go. Because as we go down here and we look a little further, now we got Cooper Rush as the backup, Mike White way down the line. We start looking at the defense. This is where it's going to get interesting. And see, what you do now has ramifications for the future. And I'll get to that in a moment. Because at the moment, we got Taco Charlton holding space for DeMarcus Lawrence. Okay, this is actually his natural side, but you know, like I said, he's just holding that for now. Jalen Jenks has done a few good things out there, but he's not ready to be the starter. Malik Collins, woo-wee.
Aaron Ball will agree that Malik Collins has been looking pretty good.
Malik Collins, for the first time in his NFL career, first time in NFL career, is looking really good, and he's healthy, completely healthy. Each year he has played before, he's had a messed up foot and really could not do training camp, but he hasn't missed games. He's looking like a man-child out there.
Junebug, thank you very much for that super chat, buddy. You are awesome. Super chat sticker, I should say.
He is going to be a beast. So here's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys, I want you to think about this, because everything is tied in. And this is where the Cowboys are taking their time and trying to make sure that when they sign these contracts, that they can get out of them, that they don't overpay, they get the best deal that they can, and what are the ramifications? Because you've got to think about every single scenario, okay? The thing that the Dallas Cowboys have going for them more than anybody else is they are damn good at drafting, okay? You can't dispute all of the great talent that they have gotten through the draft. The reason why we got problems of paying people is because we've drafted real well. That 2016 draft was unbelievable. You know, granted, Rico didn't make it on the team, but when you look at Zeke, you look at Malik Collins, you look at Dak Prescott.
Mike Mount, thank you very much for that super chat.
You look at all of these guys, they have done fantastic. You look at the first rounders that we have in the offensive line. Pro Bowlers, all pros. So we've done good, as opposed to, let's say, the Redskins. You know, they got Santana Dotson, first round. Dude got injured again today. Dude has been injured every single year of his career. But we have done great. So if you're able to draft well, this is where it's key. Your draft picks don't get paid jack. They don't. It's not like getting a free agent where you got to pay 10, 12, 15 million, or you go for a quarterback and it's 25 or 30 million dollars. If you can draft well and get yourself in a position to replace players that are going, then you're great. Because here's the thing. If we look at the Dallas Cowboys right now, we've got guys like Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn is on a one-year deal. What you want to happen with Robert Quinn, you want him to play lights out and walk away. You want him to get 10 sacks and all of a sudden go get paid $15 million to somebody else. I know you're kind of like, what? What you want to have happen is you want, let's see, Christian Covington, defensive tackle. You want him to come in and get himself 5 or 6 sacks. You want him to do like Claiborne did from Atlanta on Dak Prescott. Have one of those killer games and then sign a big fat contract elsewhere. You want Randall Cobb to go out here and get himself about 10 touchdowns and then sign a big fat contract elsewhere. You know why? Compensatory picks.
Eric Freeman, thank you very much for that super chat.
Compensatory picks. Because New England has lived and won Super Bowls because of compensatory picks. You want guys to play fantastic, get a big fat contract, and get a draft pick to replace them with. And we could be in line for a lot of those because of the guys that the Cowboys have finally started to really learn how to play the game. And the game is sign the big contracts, make the players happy like you did for DeMarcus Lawrence. And I know we're sort of talking about, man, you paid him $105 million. You didn't pay him $105. You're already going to pay him $20 million because of the franchise tag this year. You basically added 2 more years to that deal and made it so a max of $105.
Eric Garcia, thank you very much for that super chat.
So what you've done is you made him happy, made him a $100 million player. Actually, it's only 65, and you've got yourself a way to get out of it 3 years down the road. Not bad. So with Zeke, ideally, if you want to be an ass, you could go ahead and pay him nothing extra now, franchise tag him, or just let him walk and run him like you did DeMarco Murray. That's not exactly what I would want to do. I think the Cowboys should do the right thing because you realize how important Zeke is to the offense. But you've got to understand, you've got all these guys here that do have to eat. And so you do have to look at it from the standpoint of how am I going to get all these guys on the roster? But, and as I said again, but if you look at it from the standpoint, ooh, wow, damn, I can't even keep up with the Super Chats, guys.
Joshua Bronson, thank you very much for the Super Chat. And Dem Boys 27, thank you very much for that Super Chat.
Well, yeah, and Joshua, and see, this is another thing that you start looking at too, because there are some guys that you're going to look at and say are expendable, and to save some money. You do have Tyrone Crawford, having had hip work done. I think it was hip. So he's on the PUP list at the moment. If you end up having these guys that are playing lights out, and you've got guys like Malik Collins, who is on a contract year, who, again, is looking really good in camp, and you start saying, okay, and this is even before we start talking about having possibly Randy Gregory come back, and we'll get back to Randy Gregory in a bit. If you start looking at saying Jalen Jelks can be a beast next year, you're talking about him being able to take a spot. Taco Charlton, there's no guarantee he's got a spot. They're saying basically we're going to take the best players available out there. Malik Collins, Antoine Woods. Antoine Woods is a man-child. You definitely want those guys. Tristan Hill, you use a draft pick on, high draft pick, number 2, and he's looking like he's got his hair on fire. He's going to make it. So all of a sudden you look at this, Christian Covington, with the Texans last year, he ended up having, I think, 4 sacks from the defensive tackle, which is really good. And Armstrong, I mean, you got so much talent in here. You could look at it and say, you know what, Tyrone Crawford, buddy, we love you. You've been a team captain, but we can use that $6 million elsewhere. And it's not, don't get me wrong. I love Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford's got a Joe Boo t-shirt. Actually, I think he's got 2. I don't want him cut, but you got to understand it's about having the best 53 guys, and you can only put in so many people. And this is where Taco becomes expendable, because you look at it and say, well, do I keep Taco, or do I keep Christian Covington or Dorrance Armstrong? And there's no question. You let go of tight end. Tight end's not a position that, generally speaking, you usually lose a lot of players on. Defensive line, yeah, they can get knocked out. And you want to have a strong rotation in there. So that's where you go. And this is where you're going to see some guys that you're going to be surprised that are getting cut, name guys. And they will go with some of these younger talent. It's just the nature of the beast. And to be a consistent winner, you have to do that. Now, if you go with that philosophy, if you say, you know what, I can't live without a quarterback. I got to pay a quarterback. He's going to be around for the suck my Dak. Oh, come on, Cowboys legend. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. If you're going to go through and look at it from a standpoint of, I got to have a quarterback, okay? As much as the talking heads out there will tell you that, Mark Sanchez would be better, or I'm trying to think of some of the other guys that they have, but they're basically saying everybody's better than Dak Prescott. Regardless, you've got to have a quarterback. And whether you like Dak or not, he works with the system that you have. Because the bottom line is, can you win? You may have some other quarterbacks that you say are more polished, but are those teams winning with that more polished quarterback in the system that they have? Because I'm looking and saying, second most victories to Tom Brady. That's a win to me. That's a win to me. Okay? Working well with Zeke Elliott. That's a win for me. Working great with Amari Cooper. That's a win for me. And he's still only 3 years in. You don't know how much better you'll get. If you look at Russell Wilson, Dak's numbers are better than Russell Wilson's were the first 3 years. I know Russell Wilson has a Super Bowl ring, but he also had for 3 years the best defense in football. That makes a difference. Ask Troy Aikman that. Troy Aikman only had to throw 20 touchdowns or more one season. One season. It's the truth. And the Dallas Cowboys' identity, I've said it 50 million times, has always been great defense, great running attack.
Derek Freeman, I'll see you at the Giants game.
Really good wide receiver, and a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. Dak was top 5. Well, yeah, and Joshua, you were 100% right on that one. But what the talking heads will do is they'll go on the totality of the season. And, of course, if you say, well, it was different once you got Amari Cooper, well, they won't give him credit for that. They'll say, well, Dak has to have people around him. But I wish I could just go on one of these shows with them and say, okay, when you say that Dak Prescott has to have people around him, I would say, please tell me what quarterback out there doesn't have people around him and is doing better than Dak Prescott. That's all I want to know. Just name me one quarterback that has absolutely nobody out there. Has no offensive line, has no running game, has no wide receivers, but he is still winning Super Bowls. He is still winning and making the playoffs. Please, I want to know who all these guys are. I really want to see them. Rico was not getting it. And Rico was a little bit nicked up. You're right, Niall. And let me check out some of this stuff. You're right behind you in age, Tom. Hey, Derek, I see you got yours in. Rico was trash. He was a crowd favorite, Cowboys legend. Come on. Everybody had hope for him. You start thinking of, some of the great tight ends like Gates. You think about, it was just put in the Hall of Fame. And you kind of hope because you got that little tease against the Rams, where you got a couple of those touchdowns in there. And you kind of said, if we could get that guy to really be able to play like that, it would be fantastic. But, it just didn't happen. So, that experiment's done. It's over with. It's no harm, no foul. It was a 6th-round draft pick. Carson Wentz had a loaded wide receiver. Yeah, JR24, 214. And here's the funny thing about that. See, and I bet you there's a few Eagle fans that are trolling around in here. Okay, I'm gonna piss them off right now. He was 5-6 with that receiving core and that offensive line, coming back from Super Bowl champions, 5-6. The wins were twice against the New York stinking Giants, but who didn't beat them? They were slump busters, okay? The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Washington Redskins, and the Indianapolis Colts when the Colts lost 45-something to the Jets. So they stunk. But it's funny how Nick Foles took that same team, turned them around, right? Won 4 out of 5 games and got them into the playoffs. So that makes you wonder, is it the system there or is it the quarterback? I think it's actually a system that he's there at. But again, we'll see what we're going to see with him. We keep hearing the Eagle fan base and the Eagles talking heads talking about how great he is, how he's changed his mechanics, how he's changed the way he plays so that way he won't get hurt, how he's changed even, everything that he eats. Did he change his diaper too? That's all I want to know. Did he change his diaper? Too much? Is that too much? Okay. All right. So, Michael Gallup. I think Michael Gallup, is going to take a big step. Because wide receivers, generally speaking, don't come out the box. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. was one of the few that came out immediately as a rookie and had a big impact. More times than not, your wide receivers take time, okay? Linebackers can come out right away and play really well. Defensive linemen come out and play really well. But centers, wide receivers are really hard positions to come out the box and just really, really play well with right off the bat. Gross mark. Okay, all right. Okay, so it was too much. Big Show was hidden by Jackie. How you doing, Miss Jackie? How you doing, Victor? Malicious Cowboy 86. Raymond, how you doing? Tom, Jasper Jr. Grady Haas Music. Carson needs to be mentally rise above his injuries. Well, Grady, I'm gonna give him. Okay, you can't just rise above, messing up your knee. I mean, that's one of those things. Once it's done, it's done. I tried that when I tore my ACL in high school, getting back up, but that dog won't hunt. That's one of those things that you just have to deal with. You have to wonder if Carson Wentz is one of those guys that just has that injury history, kind of like Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford was serviceable when he could stay healthy, but he just never stay healthy. He was always breaking something. And you ever notice that Sam Bradford had those like bird legs? And you looked at him, it's like, no wonder he's always hurt, because he's a skinny little somebody. Rocket Ismail 2.0, Gallup. Ryan Kirk, I hope he's going to be better than Ismail. Ismail was only good as a kick returner. He was not much as a wide receiver. And like I said, he was a great kick returner. But I want Michael Gallup to be a great wide receiver. But, you look at, was I good at football? I played college, played high school. Unfortunately, my senior year, the last scrimmage, I tore my ACL and missed the first 4 games. Back in the day, that's when they first started doing the scope. And when they did the scope, they said you got a tore ACL. And they just kind of cleaned it up. I did rehab and wore a knee brace and played the rest of the season. But they said pretty much that, you probably won't be able to play football ever again. But I played the last 6 games and got it together and walked on at JMU. So there's that. Take what you will on that. I was great at track and field as well, throwing shot put and discus. A lot of names in chat that don't. Yeah, well, that's a lot of new people. Shout out to all the new people that are here. We are not mad about having new people in here. Make yourself at home. Come on in, be part of the chat and things. Cowboys Legend. Cowboys Legend is not new. He just don't come in on a regular over here. Cowboys. Here's an interesting thing. Cowboys Legend and I had a little beef there a couple years ago. And it was because in 2017, when the team was kind of looking shaky, when you saw Tyron Smith was hurt, when you saw Sean Lee was hurt, because when Sean Lee went out, we went from like 83 yards on the ground giving up to like 180. And the team was literally like the first 3-game stretch of like the worst in the Cowboys history. And when we got close to the Redskin game, I kind of said, damn, this is not a Super Bowl team, is what I was thinking in my mind. And I said, would we be better off if the team ended up losing out the season? You remember that Cowboys Legend, because you remember you went after me and Joe Boo, and it's cool. We're cool. Because you said, man, you're not a real fan. You don't ever wish to lose. And at that time, it was like, I'm not wishing to lose, but I'm putting the thought out there because it's like we need to hit rock bottom. If you've ever had to deal with an alcoholic or a drug addict and things, you can know and you can tell them a million times, Victor, I don't think he's going to show up tomorrow. I think he's going to hold out to closer to the season. Most veterans don't want to play.
Randy Siddles, thank you very much for that super chat.
Most veterans don't want to play practice, so he's going to milk this for quite a while, but he wants to be but I'm just pointing out, those are just a difference of opinion. I love the Cowboys, but it was at that time, it was just like, we got to get a change, man. But when you have an alcoholic or a drunk, and you can tell them, and I've worked with one that it's just like everything you're doing is wrong. It's just terrible. You don't understand how you're living. But until they hit rock bottom and everything is just like, oh my God, you want to change, they're not going to change. And that's where it felt like with the Dallas Cowboys, with Jason Garrett and the team. And it's just like everything is just so screwed up. We need just to start over. And maybe the best thing is get a high draft pick, get rid of Jason Garrett, start all over. And we ended up picking up enough and just missed the playoffs and so on. So that's where we had a little difference of opinion. But here's one thing I want to say, since we're talking about a difference of opinion. Most of the time now, when people disagree, the attitude is the hell with you. You're an ass. Another shooting. Wait, what? A shooting in Houston? Amy Ann had sent me a link earlier. I thought it was only one person. Are we talking about another one that's really big? Well, why has no one signed yet? Well, they're taking their time. But Victor, they're taking their time on signing. If anybody has any details on people, another shooting, let me know. San Antonio? Oh, God. Here it is. I can't even get the candle for the other ones out. How you doing, Keith? A shooting in... wait. Hold on. I've seen San Antonio, Houston, and Ohio. Someone I send to you. Oh, the same one. Okay. But that was only one person shot, though, right? Emily Ann? Okay, well, I'll check it out when we get done with the show. If somebody sees, everything about it, let me know. And everybody, keep your head down, But as I was just saying is, we can disagree about things without having to turn to hate. And in fact, it's better for me to listen to your opinion because I might learn something and I might see a different point of view than what I have. And together we might be able to come up with a solution that works for everybody. This whole thing of, if you don't agree with me, I need to shoot up everybody, it's crazy. Wow. Cowboys legend, same here, man. Because like I said, man, we can have a disagreement and just see different things. Amen, Miss Jackie. Little Sweet, yes. You were born in Houston, okay. Trying to see some of these things. Love is more powerful than amen on that one. Okay, I tell you what. Let's try and do something actually kind of cool here. Since I've got all of you great fans and stuff. I'm going to put all these and do the drawing for tonight, okay? I got Derek Freeman. I got Joshua. I got Dem Boys 27. I got Eric Garcia. I got Eric Freeman. Mike Mount.
Hello, friends. Cowboy Jobu here for Jobu Sports Report. And guys, I am here with one of the stars from The Daily Show. And I got to ask him a question. Rob Riddle. Any advice for a budding comedian here? Any advice? Any?
Jobu, is it?
Jobu. Cowboy Jobu. The most interesting doodle in the NFL.
Honestly, don't change a thing. I actually think you're ahead of the curve, my man.
You heard it live.
Boy, I kind of messed up there. Hit the wrong button. I've got the whole channel here. Randy Styles, L4G Custom Fabrication, Keys Take, Cruisin' 26. You mean I got a daggone Giants fan? Randy, I got you there too, Randy. Cruisin' 26, a freaking Giant fan. L4G Custom Fabrication, Jameel Willis, Eagle Employment Services, Daryl Bradbury. Good grief. This side's getting full. Good grief. Eagles Employer Services, James Nooks, Eagles Employer, Ivan Massey, James Nooks, Emily, okay. Ernest A. Ellsbury, J. Star Aguilar, and I know I butchered up the names. Eric Freeman, the one and only DK2. You sure it's not a DK1? Anthony Norrells, D. Parker, daggone. Chris Sports Center, FF Medic 410, Chris Sports Center, Ryan Kurt, Philly 500, Saul Hernandez, Chris Sports Center, South of Heaven. That's Mike Mosh. That's the guy who does my jerseys. Chris Sports Center, MM Mike, Mount, Cam, oh Cam, L4G Custom Fabrication, and I dropped 2. Hold it. Is Cowboy Crunk in here? Funny story here. My cell phone. Okay. What we're doing is we actually have a Jobu t-shirt that's autographed by Leon Lett. Leon Lett, who was actually a little bit wrong. He said last year that he thought that Taco was going to be the most improved player. So, okay, Cowboys Crunk. Okay, so my cell phone, I don't know what it's possessed. Okay, because here's what happens with my cell phone all the time. Mark Holmes, $4.99. Ryan Kirk, yeah, I got you. I remember signing yours, Ryan. My cell phone's in my pocket. All of a sudden, it just starts playing music or a video or something like that. Or I'll look through and I will see that it's like dialed somebody, right? And so it went to, damn, what is it? WhatsApp, okay? And ended up sending a message to Cowboys Crunk, and it was like a link to something else. And I was just like, Cowboys Crunk, of course, is in like, you know, the Middle East. And so he ends up calling me, you know, like, what's up? What's wrong? What's going on in the middle of the night and stuff? And it's like, sorry, dude, my phone button dialed you. Sorry, didn't mean to wake you up. We got Skins fan all day. Skins fan. Wait, Skins fan. Oh, man. Okay. Skins fan. How is Colt McCoy going to be named the starter in the morning and mess up his ankle in the afternoon? Don't you think that your team is just like jinxed for some reason? I'm just saying, if you are a quarterback for the Washington Redskins, do you really want to be named the starter? Because they don't seem to have a great track record. It seems like it's like they always go down. Is it me or am I wrong? All right, so we're drawing for the Leon Lett signed Jobu shirt. I got that signed last year. And I need one other person to get in touch with me because I suck, and I suck at keeping stuff together. I need Benjamin Forbes. Email me again, please. Benjamin Forbes, because I have the Dak Prescott shirt for you. Benjamin Forbes. I'm sorry. It's still sitting here. Benjamin Forbes, please. Okay. Yeah, the Skins are cursed. All right, so here we go. What I've done is, if you've done a super chat in the past, okay, they're all in here, okay? So, here we go. I got a couple of them here. Let's see. We'll go with this one. Lloyd Diggs. Okay? Let me zoom up. Lloyd Diggs. Okay. All right, so Lloyd Diggs, you have, I'm putting your name on it. Put your name on it over here on the Leon Lett. Okay. You mean a wrench. Rico, what torches are, you know what, Derek? If the worst thing we have to worry about is Rico Gathers beating us, then we're in pretty good shape. I'll just put it like that. How about that one? I'm sorry, but I just hold on to. So should we hold on to him because we're worried that he might go to another team and play? Come on, man. Yeah, it's not his fault. Redskins run the anorexic back to. Okay. Rico's nachos. Well, it's more like Rico Suave. Junebug. Whoa, man. So, Joseph Heatherly, thank goodness you're back. So that must mean that your wonderful wife is doing better. Glad to see you back in here. Joseph Heatherly, I always say Hartley, but it's actually Heatherly, has been a great supporter of the fans. Breaking news. Zeke is back in the States. Okay. But I didn't throw shit. No, come on, Victor. Don't start no stuff, Victor. What I think the Cowboys' record is going to be 11-5. That's what I'm going with. You don't know if the Cowboys can handle the Pats. Okay, it'll be another Randy Moss. Mark, this team is too loaded for. Well, I agree with you that we are too loaded. This is the biggest problem we have is who are you going to keep? Because we have so many players that. Oh, okay, Skips fan. Okay. I thought you were. Okay. I didn't realize it was you, Skips fan. I cursed. Well. Maybe. I don't know. Do you believe in a voodoo doll? I mean, come on. It's only an ankle. It wasn't like he was lost for the year. I honestly, I think 11-5 with this team. I can't wait for NFL Network when they start doing their predictions and things. So, like last year, one of the female commentators was like, "Oh, I think the Cowboys are going to be 6-10," and I was like, "What? How you gonna get 6-10? You know, you got 8 players on the top 100. You know, I know that's not real. That's just like people thinking it, but."
Junebug, thank you very much for that super chat.
Where's my list? Gonna have to add you for the next one. But when you look at the talent that we had, you look at how we finished off the season last year, and I'm excited about Kellen Moore in the offense. We don't have all of our horses playing just yet. You know, we've got a few people that are a little nicked up. We know that Amari Cooper's heels bother him, so he's not practicing. So, we got that. We don't have Zeke Elliott there, so, of course, that's a little bit different. And we're practicing against one of the better defenses in the NFL, which, of course, always hurts too. But we're doing a lot of things different than what we did before. We're doing pre-snap motion. We're doing more sets. Chris Jackson, I would love to be in California. I wanted to. Every year I usually go in the summertime to visit my daughter. Just couldn't do it this year. I'm going to make sure that next year I will be in a position to make sure that I'm there for training camp. But I feel good about where that defense is. Where that offense is. What I really, really feel good about is this guy, Chris Richard. Can I say I got a man crush on Chris Richard? Chris Richard will be a head coach in the NFL sometime really soon. I don't know if it'll be with the Cowboys or if it'll be with somebody else, but he will be a head coach someplace soon. And I absolutely positively love what I just saw a couple of days ago. I didn't actually have a chance to do a video about it because there's so much that's been going on. But we all thought that we were going to go for a safety like Tannehill and some of the other guys, because we looked at it and said, Jeff Heath, maybe we need an upgrade there. We see Xavier Woods in practice getting several interceptions and looking really, really good, and making you get excited about him. But here's what's really cool about what Chris Richard said, and this just like music to my ears. Everything starts up front. It's always going to be a big man's game. The proliferation of the passing game and all that types of stuff is pretty cool. It's great that people are lighting the ball up down the field, but it comes and goes. It's not the first time we've seen it. So, He's basically saying, it comes in waves. We've seen great passing attacks in the past, right? Think about the old Buffalo Bills of Jim Kelly, with the K-gun. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the K-gun, okay, offense, which was, Jim Kelly. And they were lighting it up in Buffalo in the snow. And they were pretty hard to stop. You can think about the red gun offenses in Atlanta, okay, right? Remember that. And then you can think about the run and shoot in Houston. I'll even throw, for Skins fan all day, how about the Chuck and Duck? You remember that with the old ball coach? The Chuck and Duck? Yeah, it got plenty of quarterbacks killed. But anyway, nobody had an answer for this and that, and ultimately, that's the way the game works. But the game, the way we look at it, it always starts up front. It's a big man's game. You win the game up front. You dominate the line of scrimmage. In the end of the day, more times than not, those are the teams having success. And right there is your answer to why we drafted Tristan Hill instead of Thornhill. He looked at it and said, if I get a great push in the middle, if I can put pressure on the quarterback, and this is what I've always said for years, and it's just like, listen to me. Dak did a video with Roger the Dodger. My two favorite quarterbacks. If I can get a big push up the middle, it's going to make the linebackers better. It's going to make the cornerbacks and the safeties better. It's going to make the whole defense better. If you get a safety that's real good, well, if you don't have pass rush, then it means he's got to hold up forever. So that's where you see his philosophy. I want to have some lights out defensive linemen, big fat guys that are nasty, that are evil, that are going to go in there and make the quarterback piss down his leg. And I love it. And that's what we're going to be able to see, hopefully this year, that with the second year of Chris Richard here, that we're going to see as they went through and drafted bigger cornerbacks. Michael Jackson is 6'2" something. Even George Iloka, although George Iloka is not that high on the depth chart, he's still 6'4". He likes these big guys that are athletic. And he likes these defensive linemen that are absolute beasts. And when you look at Malik Collins, you look at Antoine Woods, you look at Tristan Hill, you look at Robert Quinn and DeMarcus Lawrence. These are all guys with a high motor that they're going to be doing a lot of stunts and twists in there. They're going to confuse the offensive linemen and are going to be able to beat them with speed. So I'm excited about the defense. I can't wait. I just can't wait. And I'm excited about this season. We've got the game on Saturday night, our first preseason game. We won't see the starters playing for very much, and we probably won't see much of anything, but still, it'll be our Dallas Cowboys in actually a game. Kenny Gibson, what's up, people? Diss Dak on a daily basis. Yeah, it is. Dak gets dissed on a daily basis. But you know what? He's just going to keep doing Dak. He's going to keep brushing it off, and he's going to keep proving it wrong. Philly is legit, Richard. If the Eagles are, provided that Carson Wentz stays upright. Danny White was good, but Dak will be great. They got so close with the Cowboys. 3 times to the NFC Championship game. They just could not get over the hump. The biggest problem for Danny White was you had a Redskins team that were juggernauts. You had the 49ers that were juggernauts. It was just the wrong error to have to be the Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys were kind of on the tail end of that 70s team. And Tom Landry, the innovator, wasn't able to innovate like he had before. Teams had started to catch up. And you saw that San Francisco, with the West Coast offense had changed. You saw the Redskins with the one-back offense and having the H-back over there, which is basically a hybrid of a fullback and a tight end. That they evolved, but the Dallas Cowboys were still stuck in the 70s team. And so that's where it wasn't so much that Danny White wasn't a good quarterback. It was just that other teams had finally caught up. Dak is my quarterback, period. Amen to that one. So, guys, wow. It's 10 o'clock already. Damn. Derek Savage, they definitely were getting old. Like I said, they were living on the 70s team. And that's where teams, you got to understand that you have a window where you want to get a whole group of guys that are young, hungry, and talented, and you want to go ahead and breed them together and go ahead and try and make that run. That's what the Seattle Seahawks did, and their team got old. That's what Green Bay Packers were a few years ago, and that team got old. So you have to then go ahead and rebuild and start over. And if you don't, then you're just kind of stuck on stupid. So that's where we are with our Cowboys. To me, I'm going to go ahead and finish up on this, but to me, the Dallas Cowboys team right now is young, it's hungry, and you've got a good core group of guys. And as much as they keep telling us, well, you know, you're not going to be able to sign everybody. You don't have that many places that you're going to need to fill in. Right now, what you need to do is keep that offensive line together, let Dak go ahead and grow. You want to hold on to Amari Cooper. You want to keep Zeke healthy. And you want to look and say, the next 3 or 4 years, we're going all in and trying to win this thing. And that's the way you kind of have to look at it. But what do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll.
Ernest Huntley, thank you very much for that super chat.
Just checking something here. Okay. Ernest Huntley. And let me make sure I tell you, Lloyd Diggs. Lloyd Diggs, email me. Nope, that's not the right one. Pull that back. Let me put the email address on here for you guys. Everybody who joined in from... there we go. I get so many different buttons here to push, guys. If you guys actually were to see everything that I have in front of me, it's crazy. Sometimes I'm not sure how in the world I do this as a one-person show, but there's 4 screens in front of me over there. There's this screen, and there's 3 cell phones all going on at the same time. Everybody on Facebook, on the different pages and stuff, thank you for joining in and being part of the show. What you really should do is actually, because I can't watch all of the Facebook pages at the same time, is actually go to the YouTube channel itself. And that way, if you're part of that stream and all the great fans and stuff in here, and we've got some great fans that are in here, you make the comments on there. That way I'll see you. But I'm going to try to keep doing the show on multiple platforms so that way we can spread the mojo as much as possible. Hopefully, somebody had said that Zeke is back in the States. I didn't see that. You'll bet money that Zeke shows up tomorrow. I'm hoping you're right. I hope, Victor, for once you're right. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. I haven't heard anything on that because that would seem like it would be breaking news. If there is, in fact, another shooting, thoughts and prayers to everybody out there. We got to stop this. And I don't know how, but if somebody has a solution, please let me know because I will spread it out there as best I can. But guys, girls, great sports fans, Dallas Cowboy fans, remember, we're all family. It's time to turn out the lights, man, because this party is over. Oh, wrong one. I butt fumbled it.
Team Lud, thank you for that super chat.
Good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.